Hi, everybody. So today is Monday. That means it's time for family movie night. And this week, I am talking about a film that I have talked about a lot, especially having it be in my top 20 best of the year for 2020. In the little movie that I championed all year long, I thought this was appropriate because it actually debuted at Sundance. We're talking about Timmy Failure, Mistakes Were Made. And when I saw that this was debuting at Sundance, I was pretty cynical about it because I just thought Sundance is becoming so corporate that so many of the films are debuting on Netflix or Amazon Prime. Some of them even that same week, which is frustrating when the whole idea of Sundance is supposed to be smaller films, smaller studios. It's their place to shine. So the fact that Disney, of all people, would have a film at Sundance was kind of crazy to me. And then I saw it, and it made a lot more sense to me once I actually saw the film because it definitely has kind of a Sundancey vibe. It has an independent feel about it with Timmy and his sort of precociousness. And this is directed by Todd McCarthy and written adapted from it's adapted by the novels by Stephen Pastis. And sorry if I'm saying that wrong. And it's kind of crazy because Todd McCarthy, he was the director of Spotlight, the one Best Picture. And so then his next project is this kids film, which is really interesting, I think. And there's a lot more to Timmy Failure than you might see at first. Ostensibly, it's a cute little movie about a little boy who's running this detective agency that thinks he's the greatest detective in the world. And he has an imaginary 1,500-pound polar bear as his best friend. But there's also a lot more to it. This is definitely a coping mechanism for him of trying to deal with the brokenness of his family. That his mother is a single mom, his dad left, and he uses his polar bear as a coping mechanism for dealing with his dad leaving. And he's obviously very alone and has a hard time kind of communicating with his other peers and getting along with them. And so he kind of uses his detective skills as his cover to avoid building relationships. And one of my favorite scenes in the film is between Craig T. Robinson, his principal character, and Timmy. And Timmy is feeling upset because they had to close his agency because of a mistake that happened at the dam that caused all these problems. And he's feeling sad, and he's had to say goodbye to his polar bear. He's going to be going to middle school. He's just feeling really, really sad. And this conversation between the two of them is all about adaptability and how much of ourself do we need to give up in order to get along with other people. Should we give up any of it? How do we make that work? And basically, his answer is that that Timmy is never going to fit in with all of these other students. He's always gonna be a little weird, a little different. But what does he take his own, or how does he take his challenges and adapt them so that he can overcome whatever problems stand in his way? So here's the problems of here's the problems stopping my agency from being open, and how am I going to adapt to those problems? How am I going to solve them? And it makes Timmy really think about how he could do things maybe in a different way that would make things better. And he has to own up to his mistakes, but he doesn't have to really change who he is. He just has to be willing to adapt to the situations that come from him. And I just thought that was such a lovely moment and such a wonderful part of the script. And it's really indicative of how heartfelt and sweet this movie is. And there's a moment where he does have to say goodbye to his polar bear, and it is just so devastating. I really just it got the feels for sure. And you have Wallace Shawn playing his teacher, Mr. Crocus, and he's so good at playing that cantankerous teacher that Timmy is driving crazy. I also really liked Carl Bornheimer as Crispin, who is who's Timmy's mother's boyfriend. He's also a security guard, and he helps him to be able to say goodbye to his polar bear. And it's just such a sweet, lovely scene. And I just loved this movie. I loved the script. I loved the performance of Winslow Fegley as Timmy. I thought it was so sincere and so sweet. I loved him on his little Segway tootling all around Portland. It was so cute, and putting together all the clues. And I wish that we could see a bunch more of these. I think there's so much potential, but I really thought this movie had something to say about kids, about being yourself, but then also how you can work to fit in and be a friend and be a kind person, and how you can own up for your mistakes, and forgive other people for their mistakes, and be your own self, be true to yourself, be creative, be loving, be kind. I know, I just loved it. I thought it was so, so, so sweet. So if you've seen Timmy Failure, what did you think of it? Did you enjoy it like I did? Did your kids enjoy it? Because I think this would be a great movie to watch with your kids and have some really good discussions about bullying, about self-esteem, and what we can learn from Timmy and his saying goodbye to his polar bear. Let me know your thoughts, and please subscribe to this channel. Please like this video. Please consider becoming a patron. It helps so much, especially with these family movie nights, the support of the patrons. So thank you so much. We also have our merch store, which has so much fun stuff. So check that out. And thank you very much. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye, everyone.